good, people? This is your boy Manny Scribble. First and foremost, thank you for being here with me. If you guys can, please hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell notification icon so you can get notified anytime I drop some of that new. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future episodes, leave it in the comment section below. I will be reading those. Big shout out to my brother from another mother. He goes by the name of Circus. He made the beats in the background. You need beats for your videos, for your music. He's definitely the guy to do it for you. I'll leave all his information in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into this video. In spite of the holidays coming up, Christmas is around the corner, I want to do something a little different. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my process and how I did this illustration. Showing you guys my tips, my tricks, hopefully being able to teach you guys something you guys didn't know on the way. First things first, the outline. I like to start off with a 3-point brush, but that all varies depending on what I'm trying to get across. For this one, 3 was perfect. I have my pressure sensitivity on so that my lines can go from thick to thin depending on how hard I press on the pen. I highly suggest you guys mess with the thickness of the brushes to see what suits your style best. For the most part, I use my brush tool, but it's not uncommon for me to switch to my direct selection tool to straighten out any imperfections that I may not like. The biggest piece of advice I could ever give you is learn your shortcut keys. Those will save you so much time in the future. And we all know, time is money. For this illustration, I wanted to avoid using black for the outlines. So what I did was I used darker tones of whatever the fill color is going to be. For example, if I'm using tan for the fill color, I'm using a really dark brown for the outline. I find that this makes my outlines less harsh and less concentrated on. It gives my illustration a different feel. Once I'm done with the outline, I like to group all my line work. Now I move on to my base fill. These are just my solid undertones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my fill color in a new layer underneath my line work. I'm going to switch to my pen tool and I'm going to follow the outlines in the sections that I'm trying to color in. At this point, it's also not uncommon to see me use my blob tool. The blob tool is just like the brush tool, but instead of making line work, it colors in as one solid object. Once my base colors are down, I want to go and move on to my shadows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new layer in between my outline and my base colors. Now before I do my shadows, I like to think of where my light source is. But whatever side the light source is coming on, your shadows are going to be on the opposite side. In this case, my light source is up top. Therefore all my shadows are going to be on the bottom. Now the way I pick my shadow colors is I push the letter I, which will access my eyedropper tool. I'll click on my base color and I'll click the color. This will bring up the color chart. Once it brings up the color chart, I slide slightly down so that it gives me a darker tone. And this will give me my shadow color. Once I'm done with my shadow, I'm gonna open up a new layer for my highlights. This will go on top of my shadow layer. And I'm gonna repeat the exact process that I did with the shadows, except on the opposite side where the highlights would be. After you're done with the highlight layer, I like to go and put a layer on top of my line work. This will be for my whites. I only put white on top of the highlight areas where the light would directly hit. Careful with this because too much can overdo it. A little bit goes a long way. Now it's time for the eyes. This is one of my favorite parts. The way I do eyes is I start with a simple solid dark color, and I gradually move from that dark color to a light color, usually about 3 sections. This is behind the outline layer. Then once I'm done doing the 3 sections, I'll put a layer on top of my outline layer, and I'll add the little white specks of light. The reason I do this is because I want some of the white to overlap my line work. Add a little bit of smoke to the comb. The way I do this is I get the outline just like I was building the shape. After that, I use my gradient tool. I go from a transparent to a white back to a transparent. Usually you can mess around with these levels. It's whatever suits you. After I'm done vectorizing the main part, I'll grab the vector and I'll slide it into Photoshop. This is where I'll do all the after effects, such as light, shadows, backgrounds, and photo filters that'll tie all the colors together. At this point, we're done, and now you got a finished product that looks like this. Thank you for rocking with me. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you can get notified next time I drop the new one. Follow me on my other social medias. Other than that, I'm out. Deuces.